Hey everybody, Texas Stroker here, Alliance Performance Shop, Mopars.com. Something a little different. It is just before midnight here, and I've got to render this out, upload it, and you'll be watching it in a few hours, hopefully. So, I have intended to make this video for quite some time, and I couldn't do it literally. I didn't have my voice. Cleaned out the pallet yard, like 3 weeks ago maybe, and lost my voice for a day, came right back, never really felt bad or anything, and then I basically lost my voice for roughly 10 days, like just couldn't talk. It's a weird thing, I guess it's like dirt and stuff, but I want to make this for two reasons, and the first one is hopefully pretty obvious. It's just to let you know this stuff is here. A lot of people kind of rely on me for this, and I try to stress every year this is not something you wait on, and I don't say that. Again, nothing that I'm going to link below makes me a dime. I do not have affiliate links. You could buy every single thing that I mention, and I don't see a dime. I'm literally doing this just so you don't miss out. I can tell you right now, there could be spoilers. That said, I'm assuming most of you are purchasing this for yourself, and you would investigate it and see if you want it to begin with. If that somehow does not describe you, if you just like give a list to your kids or your wife or something, this is the time you would just know that this stuff is available, and it's not always going to be available, so it should be purchased now. Again, it's middle of October. I don't really like thinking about Christmas and stuff like that, but it's just the fact of the matter. This stuff sells out, and every year I get inundated with a message like, hey, you know where I can source one of these? Man, I missed out. They're sold out. What can I do? This is me trying to help you. All right. And again, that truly comes from somebody who does not make a dime. I've never made a dime. I don't have Amazon affiliate links. It's not a KC Tool affiliate link. It probably should be. I've had even some of you tell me like, man, you really should do that, but I don't. So take this as just the goodness of my heart trying to help you out. And speaking of the goodness of my heart, what is cooler than a snowboarding Santa? A snowboarding Santa that has cool stuff. So, the Wera Advent calendars are probably the most popular. I think a big reason for that is they're almost always the most economical, lowest entry point, if you will. So, these are available. They're in stock. They've been in stock. KC Tool has been trying really, really hard to tell people that these are available. Scrolling up there at the top in the blue, you're going to see that Stahlwille is available. They're now pushing those even. This is because they want the people that want this stuff to be able to get it. And again, you can't literally wait until Black Friday. You can't wait until the 23rd of December. It could be gone. Now, it could still be in stock. I can't tell you. But it routinely sells out, particularly the Wera stuff. So let's take a look at it. $85. There's kind of a zoom in on Santa for you. I am not going to lie. At this point in time, if you were like me, you probably have this, right? Oftentimes the Advent calendars introduce new tools or like a preview of what's to come in the upcoming year or not too distant future. There's only so many bits, bit ratchets, bit holders, and socket variations one can kind of house, right? So I think they may even be aware of that, some of these companies, because they're kind of doing some gimmicky stuff, but it's really cool gimmicky stuff. I've said for years, I think Knipex should do like a grooming kit. I'm talking like tweezers, toenail clippers, fingernail clippers, all that sort of a thing. And I say that because that stuff sucks. Like the stuff on the market is junk. Okay, just having something of a known quality, I think it would go over well. Maybe this stuff will sort of bed the waters for that, but this is what you're getting. You're getting a textile pouch, again, if you're heavily invested in the Wera to Go system, home free. Otherwise, you got the plastic case, you got some bits, you got some 3 sockets, a bit ratchet and adapter, same thing over here. For everyone that's like, I've got like 16 Wera tool checks or something. This is the big selling point for many of you. It's a bottle opener. Again, there you go. But this is new. This is the super gimmick this year, and this is, in my opinion, the coolest thing here. You're thinking like, okay, I do not need a special limited color. It's like their standard Craftforman stainless. I don't need that. I don't need stubby holders. I don't care how many bits pop out the back. Check it out. That's not what this is. Let's come in here. And you're like, S&P, like what bits? Is this like precision drivers that come out of a chamber? No, it's more simple than that, but you're probably not thinking of it. And you're not thinking of it because it's salt and pepper shakers. All right. Years back, I remember German tool reviews like this. Wera had like a April Fool's Day deal with like a coat rack, but like it was really cool. And so he made one. This is one of those things. Someone was like, these little stubbies kind of like the size of like a travel salt and pepper shaker. That'd be cool. And they did it. And again, to me and probably to many of you, that's possibly the biggest selling point here. It's clearly intended like for traveling, camping, in your car, maybe an RV type of a thing, but you could totally use that in the kitchen or the man cave or something. There's everything you get. I'm not going to bore you with the details here. That is kind of cool having the bit ratchet. I will say that. That's our first look at it, but there's cool stuff. You see what it is. Maybe it's what you need. Maybe you need it SAE. It's here. It's available. It may not be available later on. Now, if you're sitting here and you're like, man, I really got that. I'd love to have salt and pepper shakers, but $85, good grief. Like the rest of this stuff would just get thrown in a kitchen drawer or something, and maybe I'll use it. Well, Wera does something else. They're kind of aware of that, I think, right? I will say, though, I genuinely do mean the salt and pepper shakers are cool. If those were available standalone, that would be the money shot there. But anyway, if you're new to Wera, if you don't have this, if you've just Stahlwille, and you're like, I really want to try Wera, these are an excellent entry point for you. Sort of feel things out. Yeah, they're kind of gimmicky, but you'll get a feel for the brand, if you will. So that said, speaking of tool checks, here is a bit check. You'll note the price fractionally lower, almost like a third of the price of your advent calendar. Now, you're not getting everything, but you do get a cool box, and it's just bits. And some people, you can never have too many bits. Again, these are in stock. They're available. I'm just letting you know that it exists. Up next from Wera, is it a salt and pepper shaker, you say? No, it's kind of the inspiration for it. It's just one of their stubby compact bit holders. So once again, individually packed. This, yes, is out of stock. You can see they estimate to have them in a week, possibly sooner. But again, don't bank on this stuff being there for you, like December 20th. All right, if you're serious about it, gather the funds up, pull the trigger. Will it be tool of the day? Will it be slashed prices? I wouldn't bank on it. And again, I say that as somebody who's got no skin in the game. You could buy everything I show you. And again, no cash comes my way. All right. My goal is to make you happier. So coming up next, this one's kind of cool. I'm not going to lie, again, especially for the bottle opener people. But this is something, if you've perused this route, you've gone down this line, you probably don't have the VDE handle with the relatively new, I'm talking like this year, blades. Maybe these two blades aren't what you need, but this is where you simply go in and you supplement this kit. You get the value here, you get the novelty, you get the gift aspect, and then, hey, I also need these bits. So if you want to get this in, try it out, and then be like, no, I prefer fixed drivers, or I prefer, VIA, whatever, gateway, right? Re-gift it. It's better than fruitcake. There's kind of some of the cool sets that you can see there. Again, relatively new stuff there. What was the last thing from them? Okay, this I just threw in because, again, I know some of you are like, oh, geez, salt and pepper shakers would be sweet, but I can't do it. If you're a big fan of Wera, this is just what I picked to highlight it. I think this is like crazily priced. This could be amazing quality. I've not seen one in person. Looks like they don't have a video yet. It's a 3x5 flag. All right. Stuff like this, marketing, I have many times in countless videos said, man, they should really do this. When I talk back and forth the call, I'm like, man, why don't they? Like the Hazet rubber duck has been on my like bucket list for so long now, and it's like really hard to get stateside, right? They do some crazy stuff and people would buy that, and you think, no, nobody's gonna get that. Look at your coworkers when they come off this truck. Right? They go in there and they just needed to swap out a broken socket and they come out with a hat and a shirt. They go crazy for snap-on socks. I assure you, people will buy toolbox decorations, shop decorations, man cave stuff. Like, it's just something people are going to do. Now, at $150, you'd have to be a pretty hardcore tool rebel. I would be all in on this, but not at $150. That's not to bash it, because I love that it's finally here. However, there's a saving grace. We come down here. It's as simple as hats and shirts. I've said for so long, this is why I jumped right on the Knipex thing when they released that. Like, I was waiting for it. I was like, finally, someone did this. And hats, shirts, it's free advertising. You get people to pay for your merchandise to advertise for you, and then they advertise for you. It's like the best of both worlds. I can't believe other companies don't have their merchandise available stateside, because again, they sell it. They don't have to give it away. You totally could, but make the merchandise affordable. That's the biggest thing. You're going to have people rocking a lot more $20 t-shirts than $60 t-shirts, right? Running a car club, I can't tell you how many times nobody would say a word to me. All right, I'm there. I've got my AAM shirt on. I'm at a big event or a car show or something. People don't come up, and some people do. Most people don't. But what would happen after the fact is they would get, this goes back to the MySpace days. This is like before I could afford a website. Right? So like, I had the MySpace URL. I would come home from an event and I would have like 5 or 6 DMs, like messages like, hey, I'm interested in joining the club. Hey, I saw this shirt, at the cruise tonight. I'd like some information. It's amazing. You could innocently wear your KC Tool shirt into Harbor Freight, and then you maybe turn 1 or 2 people into prospective KC Tool customers, right? So same thing with Wera. You know about Wera. We are in the minority. Yes, we're the coolest people, but the majority of the world, even people that, are in the trades or use tools on the daily, or, tool people, may not know some of these German brands. You walk in and you have a Wera t-shirt. Let's just click this thing. We'll go with the hoodie because a freaking cold front came through. But they're going to see this. They're going to be like, oh, what's this, like 90s tribal tattoos. And they're like, wait, tool or wait, screwdrivers? What is Wera? What is that? They're going to go home and Google it. All right. And who knows, maybe they make some purchases. But that is there. That's not like holiday specific. There's no timeline on that. But I would encourage you to pick it up. I would encourage you to hit up Wera, to tell Casey to like, hey, you got to get merch. Maybe you're a huge NWS fan, right? Tell them like, hey, you got to get me some NWS shirts in here. As a company, it's nothing but a compliment. And again, it blows my mind that we've done this for so long, and like, this is finally here. Right? There should be significantly more. Coming in next, this is what's scrolling across the top. Some of you may have been watching that like a hawk. This is possibly the coolest advent calendar I've seen. Now, I say that, Hazet's always looked really cool. The Wera ones, they're sort of like the older ones before I was into this stuff are sort of like hand-drawn-ish. Now they sort of have like this super cool Santa, and he's always doing something with a hot air balloon and the cat. Right? They're very endearing. This is kind of just stupidly practical. All right, so this one, you're like, whoa, that's like almost double the price of the Wera. Yeah, that's why you typically don't see as many Stahlwille and Hazet advent calendars wind up getting showcased or unboxed or brought in. It's just the entry level price. Now, what I can tell you, and this is something I've maintained since I've been here, I often find that you get a better value, even though the price point might be off-putting, especially when you're like, dude, the Wera is half this price. What you actually get might be more up your alley. So again, it's going to vary person to person, but if you've done Wera, like 5 years in a row, and then you like their stuff, you might only be there for the salt and pepper shaker, right? This might interest you. Stahlwille had a year off, okay? And now they've come out with this, and basically this is almost like a little desktop toolbox type of a thing. These drawers really do slide out, and they've got the dates on them. And you'll note there's a wood top. And you think, that's weird. You know, is this like a real toolbox? Well, let's go to picture 2. Literally, you're going to open the drawers up, hunt around for your numbers. You know, that's how the advent calendars work. And you pull it out, you see what you got, and you're eventually going to build a set. Look away if you don't want to have spoilers with this. And what this is 100% made in Taiwan. That's the real buzzkill here. But this is their ratcheting screwdriver. You get, looks like a standard, not a locker. This is what really appeals to me. This is not one of their latest and greatest ratchets, but it's almost the price of that kit. If I had to guess, you'd probably be around the 80, you know, like 80 to 120 range there. And then with this driver, it's probably like $40. Again, even though it's made in Taiwan. And then these sockets, they're German shallow sockets, are very reasonable. Their deeps are not. These are shallow. I was a little buzzkilled about this because I was like, man, you know, my advent calendar, that's one of the favorite ones I've ever had, is a Stahlwille advent calendar. It had the stubby version of this. It was in a really cool little L-box deal with foam. And I was like, dadgum, you know, that thing had quarter drive sockets. And I was like, wait, I think they were 12 points. If you watch the Ram Revival, that's the little set that was always in the truck. We used the stubby ratcheting driver. We had the sockets in there, you know, to pull the dash apart and everything. That's what this was. And this is 6 points, so it is different. Kudos to Stahlwille for doing that. These rails are also pretty new. I brought one in to try out. I have videos like stacked so deep, I think it would have been showcased by now. Don't hold me to it. And if you're thinking like, man, you know, that's kind of a buzzkill, where's all this stuff? Well, we're going to get to that. But coming down here, you can see the set list. And if I take you here, this is what they're calling a supplemental piece. And it's basically all these bits would come in and plug in onto this rail. All right. Kind of a buzzkill is not included at the same time. Like, you know, are you really going to buy a $215 advent calendar, particularly if you're not familiar with the brand? Some might, some won't. This is going to be in a textile pouch as well. This is kind of an intriguing thing. I'm always into the different releases here. And this is one I've never dealt with before. I'm kind of curious to try that. But it does come with the ever-present, ever-popular, ever-desirable hex to square drive adapter. So you can basically turn this into a ratchet as well. But yeah, you're real quick. Looks like we're going to have 5 through 14, pretty comprehensive quarter drive set there. I really like that the 14's included because I can use that on 9/16, and it's almost like having SAE. But you could get this if you love it. You could grab that supplemental set. Again, not in stock yet, should be in a week or so. I can tell you right now, these would probably greatly exceed the 65. Stahlwille, Hazet, they're a bit more expensive than Wera, unfortunately. So that said, moving right along here, here's the Hazet. Hazet always has the rock and roll Santa and the Hazet blue, which looks fantastic. They kind of have their own style here, a couple of Easter eggs along the way. Here's what you're getting from them. This one's $149, so a little bit less than Stahlwille. Your big selling point, if you have not used their pliers wrench, there is a pliers wrench included. The thing that sort of appeals to me, having used the pliers wrench and having lots of stuff like this and the bit checks and everything, which I really do love the way they've done this, kind of akin to the Take It Easy tool finder from Wera. I really do. I've been very impressed with their bits. This is kind of the new thing here. All right, double-ended blades, like full length, like you'd see from Koken or Snap-on or something. Also, these are amazing. More on that shortly. But this will basically take on this and turn it into a long, probably like 100 millimeter standard length driver. This lets you just run with the basics Phillips 2, Phillips 1. Would be nice if it was Phillips and slotted. I'm sure in the future, this is what I view Hazet doing here. Maybe not with Stahlwille, since they sort of went old school. Maybe not with Wera. But here, I do believe these would be a precursor. I'm sitting here pointing at my screen, and you can't see it. But these double-sided blades, they've not had those, at least to my knowledge. And I think I'm fairly up with what Hazet's doing. You're probably going to see that come out at some point in the year. It's going to be a thing that they do, and this handle here will be it. So this is sort of an early introduction to that, if you will. So interesting, I will say that. Now the pliers wrench, it's the 150, so 6 inch. That's a good size, you know, not necessarily pocket, not 10-inch. You could probably put it in your pocket if you want to. It's a very nice pliers wrench, I will say. And again, that itself would be a very considerable chunk of this. If you're a Hazet fan or collector, this pouch may be interesting to you, just in part due to the logo. Now, this is something just to kind of spice this up a little bit for you. I've thrown this in, and you're thinking like, oh, that's the 810. No, it's the 811. And you're like, oh, well, it's the 810. It's just got the updated handle. All right. I think this video is coming like in 1 or 2. Again, like it's KC Tool Haul 111 or somewhere in there. And then I've got even more of these. Some of them are very, very recent. But I will tell you right now, this is one of the best locking bit holders I have ever used. The play is minimalistic. Granted, my experience is coming from the 810, sort of the previous handle, if you will. But this is the same, but improved. And you're like, no. How is it improved? Tell me more. All right. Well, number one, you got that rubber ring. Funny story. I've bought so many of these things prior to this 811 revision. They had the 810, but then they updated the handle, and then they became an 811. And I'll tell you why. This is where the magic happens. Where used to you had to pull down to catch the bit, and you released, and it went up, and it locked. And I mean, that sucker locks. This automatically takes them, not automatically, but like you just press it in. It's kind of like one of the rapid adapters from Wera. But the thing is, you don't give up that elite holding functionality there. I'm kind of spoiling future videos, but again, the fact of the matter, I've got so many stacked up, you're not going to see some of this stuff unless I just KC tool every release date. It'll take a while to get there, right? So this thing, the other reason I handpicked this to show you, it's 50% off. So do with that what you will, but fantastic purchase. If you're like, man, I'd love to do this, but I don't really like those double-sided things, but I always wanted to try something from Hazet, start here. You're welcome. Again, I make nothing off of this. Coming up next, this is kind of a surprise. That's right, a Felo advent calendar. Some of you are like, huh, they've never done one of those before. Others of you are like, I've seen that exact calendar. I don't know where, but I know that I've seen it. And what Felo did that's kind of smart, they didn't put a year on this advent calendar. And it was available, I believe, last year in Germany. It was not available here stateside, unless, of course, like you imported one or something. It's also kind of spindier than I would think they'd want to be. Not to say that it's not worth it, but 140 versus the Wera for most people, you're probably going to go there. Now, this one does have some cool stuff now that I'm kind of taking a closer look at it. So you're going to get the cool little fold-out ruler. Lots and lots of bits, including nut holders. I wonder if they're magnetic. It looks like you're getting a fixed blade there. You're getting a Phillips stubby, kind of interesting. These are very nice. Note even in the picture the dust. The ergonic is so comfortable. Like squishy, like stress ball material in your hand. But good Lord, where I live, it's bad. Like it comes out of the packaging already dusty, and then like I live in a dust bowl. Like today with the first big cold front of the year. Oh yeah, lots of tumbleweeds, lots of sand, caliche, dirt, everything. And the ergonic collects a lot of it. I should probably walk around with one of these in front of my face and maybe not get losing my voice when I clean pallet yards, right? Interestingly, there looks to be drill bits. What are they doing here? Magnetic bit holder. Let's see here. Posi drive, Torx, Phillips, slotted. Metric nut driver, 8, 10, and 13. Doesn't mention them being magnetic. You do get the Olfa snap-off blade. Metric wooden folding ruler. Huh. Am I looking at that wrong? Surely they mention it somewhere. I'll let you figure. Okay, right there. 1/4-inch hex wood drill bits, 4 and 5 millimeter. I guess you could use that in a pinch. It's probably intended for use with a power tool, but hey, if you want to go to town with your newer comfortable, super comfortable ergonomic steel, this is actually really cool. It's sadly made in Taiwan, but again, it's one of those times you just kind of don't care because it's executed very well. The patents, it's an articulating head, it's ratcheting. There's a lot to like about that little thing. Sort of an all-in-one. Instead of getting a pistol grip, instead of getting like a 45 degree and a straight, it's like that just does it all. Plus, I don't have this holder, obviously, but Felo does make nice little cases for their bits and things. So, pretty cool stuff there. If you just need the Felo goodness, but don't want to go that route again, I'm not a bottle opener person, but I know a lot of you are, and Felo's wooden handles are fan-freaking-tastic, and this is available standalone. Again, it's spendy too, but some of you, again, particularly if you're collectors or just love this handle, and need a bottle opener, there it is. Coming in now, we're going to Knipex. This is pretty cool. I have not ordered one. I don't know if I'll order one, and the main reason is honestly, I know of their previous limited editions. You're like, oh, well, you gotta add this one to the collection. Well, here's the thing. I don't have the previous ones. And, that kind of like kills it for me. Like, I'm not going to go like pay scalper prices for one. So if you had the previous limited edition, I totally get collecting it. Some people, especially if you just despise red, this is a ticket. Some of you, like, if you want something totally unique, this is a ticket. It's gonna be a great tool. You can collect it, you can use it. I'm on the fence with it. I figured they'd go pretty quick. I don't know how limited it is. I think I've had people tell me they're numbered, actually. Let's see if this tells us anything. Huh, that's a cool box. It's almost like a tuxedo type of thing. But I won't waste our time, but hey, let me know your thoughts on this, because again, I think the biggest selling point here is either a collection, but ignoring that, it's just super cool looking, or you're not a fan of red. Right? This would be the way to go. It's very unique, very cool. I just don't know if I'm gonna do it. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts there. Coming in next, Knipex, while they don't have an advent calendar, they are offering this. All right, and what is this? Well, you get a pair of Cobras. You get these, which are fantastic. These are the 7-inch iterations that are relatively new. And then the much beloved Cutix. If you have not experienced the Cutix, I highly recommend. If you haven't gotten a Cutix, and you're like, man, this is too much money, and I've got Cobras already, just get a Cutix for yourself for Christmas and enjoy it. So, again, these needle nose combination pliers, fan-freaking-tastic. Not gonna lie, I kind of do prefer the OG original, 5-inch size a little bit better, but these are really good. And then the Cobras are 7 1/4 there. So, and it comes with the pouch. I know for some people that's a really big deal. Right here, this is, again, not holiday, but it is new. All right, this is the twin grip. You're like, twin grip's not new, dummy. I've had the 8-inch twin grip for years, and I have it in the better handle. Well, this is a brand new 3-piece set, and you're like, I don't need 3 of them. You don't need 3 8-inchers, but you might need an 8-inch surrounded by a 6-inch and a 10-inch. That's right. If you've been living under a rock, a 6-inch and a 10-inch iteration, evidenced here by the 250 and the 150 respectively, are available. This is a 3-piece set. If you've slept on the twin grips if you didn't watch my original video. All right. They are fantastic. They are really, really good. Think of it as like the Knipex Vampire. All right. I've said it before, Vampire. I don't know if anyone will beat that name. I know the Ninjasaurus, from Engineer, which that's who makes Vampire. But just in terms of the name, Vampire, so good. Twin grip, though, when you think about it, also good. Just not quite as cool, right? Cool, but not like top tier, if you will. I use these on everything. Greaser, you name it. The pair at work practically has black handles. But it also holds flats. But again, right here, that's what it's designed. The cool thing about this, I stated it in all my videos, this was actually designed by the North American team. They sort of spearheaded this. So really cool there. I assume they did the 6 and 10 inch as well. Now right here, this pair of pliers was tool of the day. This is like brand new, and it was tool of the day, like I guess last week. Guess what came in the mail today? This pair of pliers. So, you know me, I genuinely prefer this, the Comfort Grip. You're like, whoa, what's going on there? That's not right. What are they doing with this NWS gray? And what the heck did they stick in the bottom of that handle there? So many things I'm not going to cover in detail now because, again, I've literally got these sitting in the shop right now. Funny story, they're not going to be pristine because I got home, as I mentioned, the first cold front of the year came, and I was about to have 2 sections of fence go down, and I was out there, and I have in my pocket the Cobra XS, and when you're turning in a lag bolt into a fence, it works, but it's really slow, all right? And what I wound up doing, I was like, well, screw it. I should have that sitting in the mailbox or on the porch or something. And wasn't on the porch, went to the mailbox. There it was, deep mailbox. And I pulled them out, and they worked fan-freaking-tastic. A little tight in some place. You got to realize I was doing a fence post here. And oftentimes with lag bolts, I've got situations where I've had to supplement that with wood screws. Again, have I mentioned it's windy where I live? Some of you may not relate to this, but it's a routine. I deal with this around this time of year when winter hits, and then I deal with it in the spring, and it's like a perpetual thing. And then our non-windy time was like the previous 3 weeks, okay? And the rest of the time, it's bad, all right? So this now has grass, spider webs, wood, and fence stain all over it, but we're going to make a video on it. The biggest thing here, aside from being awesome and a larger iteration of the twin grip that you know and love as an 8-incher, we've got this going on. Brand new handles. And spoiler alert, I love them. People that get these sent out, they just showcase the tool, and it's like, yeah, this is called the Knipex Extend. It's pretty neat. Spoiler alert, I bought some of that stuff to show you as well. But no one talks about the new handle. It's kind of a big deal. And I'm going to correct that. I will go in depth on that for you, and we'll have a real good time. Now, coming in, the other brands may not, at least yet, have advent calendars or, Christmas themed stuff. It could happen. This is October. Maybe they come out with it a little closer to date or something. This was just something new from NWS that's totally different. And I was they're kind of expensive, but I was kind of wanting to get one. Just today, we had lathe 2, it was not the spindle forward button. This was the fancy one, wasn't working. And I was like, oh no, this one has rheostats on the back of the panel, and I'm going to have to go deal with 1,000 wires. And somehow, even though it's an enclosed panel, it gets filthy in there. And I saw this a couple weeks ago, and these were added, and I was like, I might get that. And I just thought, hey, this is totally weird, random. You don't see anything like it. It claims to be made in Germany. They do say they're non-conductive. Again, that might be the reason for the price. But I don't know if I can justify $20 for a brush. But it is cool, and I wanted to showcase it. Speaking of cool, right here, you might remember this from a while back. Again, I try to look out for you. I know many of you are bottle opener people, and this is a bottle opener from Halder. I'm going to, and this is really, really reasonably priced, is the cool thing. But if we come over here, if you've never used Halder, they've got several. There's like 3 or 4 sets, I believe, that come with a bottle opener. Some of you may not need the stand-up one, right? That's sort of like for paving stones and whatnot, but these heads are interchangeable. They're really, really good, and you get your bottle opener. So again, I'm just trying to kind of cram everything in Christmas related, right? And then deviating from that, we've got the seasonal. If you're like me, you eagerly awaited October 1st because there was going to be a new seasonal. Well, that didn't happen, and the reason for that is this one got extended. I believe it's the last update video we made. I've covered this in ridiculous detail. I'm not going to go into that, but if you missed out, or if you're going to come in and you're like, man, I'm going to get that wood handle bottle opener, and I'm going to grab that Hazet thing that's 50% off you showed me, and I think I'm going to get these, maybe not even the twin grips, maybe the limited edition ones, right? If you're super, super close to the $100 mark where you would get your mystery sticker, you could come in and you could potentially add something here, right? If you're like, man, I can't really do the Wera thing, but I've always wanted a tool check. Look at that, 40% off. All right, you're doing great things. This ratchet's awesome. It's not the extendable version, but it's the really, really long one. Again, anything you buy on here, you get a baseball, and then as you buy more on here, you get additional discounts off of things on here. So it's a win-win-win. But I've got to end this. I'm kind of losing my voice. It'll happen to me if I don't drink or have a mint. So I'm going to do that. And obviously I need to shower, and I got to go to work here in a little bit. So I'll leave it at that. But the big thing, the main thing I want to highlight for you is the Advent calendars are here. All of them. The Hazet, I think, must have just come in today because I hadn't seen it in stock prior to filming this video. So yeah, that's what I got for you. Just an update. Some of you won't like this stuff. Some of you love it. People eat these. I've never understood the appeal with let's take a look at the Harbor Freight flyer today. But those videos do fantastic. And again, if you can offer insights or, additional pertinent information, I think people appreciate it. So sorry for deviating, but again, I wanted to deviate for you about 2 weeks ago so you'd know this stuff was coming. The good news is it's all still in stock and you can get it. And again, I want to once more stress, I don't make a dime. There's no ulterior motive here coming from me. This is literally, I know some of you every year put this off or forget or both, possibly, and you miss out. And I can't pull rabbits out of my hat. I can't hit up Yuli in Germany and be like, hey man, send me a pallet of Advent calendars. I've got 40 people that slept on it. I can't do that. KC Tool would love to sell it to you, but they can't do it. They, to their credit, up, buy more and more and more to try and satisfy. Maybe people think this is lame or they've got it and this one's going to stick around and it could be there in February, clearance for $40. I don't know. But historically looking at it, these will sell out sometime probably around Black Friday if it makes it to that, and they're not coming back, right? Maybe they find somebody that has some that can't move them, and I don't know any of the particulars there. I just want you to know, if you want this, if you're remotely interested, if you have to slip a list to your wife, or your grandparents or something, or if you're the person that just gives these away, now is your time. So that's all I can do. And again, I cannot stress enough, you could buy everything and I don't see a dime. You could buy one thing, I don't see a dime. I'm literally just trying to help you. Out of the goodness of my heart, I'm trying to help you get tools or give tools, and that is all the payment that I need. I will say though, if you have not subscribed to me, I've been sitting on Snap-on videos. I promised it. I said Matco at 5K, Mac at 7,500 subscribers, and Snap-on at 10,000. as I sit on this like bevy of KC Tool videos where like new stuff from a year ago is just about ready to release in the lineup, I have had Snap-on videos that have been waiting since like June of last year. And I got some cool stuff. Like some of it was like brand new at the time, wasn't even available to order on the websites or anything. And if we could just get to 10,000, I could release those, and that would make me really happy. They're now my like oldest videos outside of like car project ones that I haven't released. So if you want to thank me, you don't have to pay me. You don't have to throw anything my way, but just spread the word on the channel. Subscribe if you haven't, if you're watching the videos anyway. And I can then release those, and I'll be really happy. Because the sad thing is, like, I've done this religiously for many years. This is an ancient channel. That's why it doesn't grow very fast. And I may have pulled out the Snap-on stuff for like comparisons and some other videos that were filmed well after that, because I assumed we would have been to that threshold by now, and it might kind of be bottlenecking a lot of things for me, because the last thing I want to do is like upload a video that's like a proto impact socket set for work, but oh, what's this like fancy new Snap-on ratchet doing here? So that's all the things I need. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine too. I seriously am content with you just getting what you want before it's gone. So that's all I got. Like I said, now I have to go render this and upload it. The uploading is the hardest part because my internet is slow. But before we go, we'll do one thing together. This is something I do every night shortly after midnight. I click Tool of the Day. It's kind of cool. 10mm. Well, that's not useful for me. But yeah, literally Tool of the Day. If you don't follow KC Tool on social media, you don't have to. You can just go to the website and click this. And if you're like, whoa, you watch this at 9 in the morning, you're like, I gotta have that, for my glow plugs. You come back in and this thing is gone. Tool of the Day you can always buy for this same discounted price the entire day. Sometimes Tool of the Day right now, I'm the first person to click it at like 12:01 or something. It's out of stock. It's not in stock. You can still buy it. I think a lot of people are still unaware of that, but yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna jet. I've got some work to do here. I got to shower, got to drink a ton of water and get a peppermint or something so I don't lose my voice. But I do hope this helps you. Yes, it's 2 weeks before Halloween, but it's just the nature of the beast here. And some of this stuff, I mean, the Stahlwille one, it could like sell out tomorrow, or it could be there in March and you might get it for a sweetheart deal. I don't know. I genuinely do not know. And I just want to try and give you an opportunity to get what you want when it's available without having to pay scalpers or something. So on that note, I'm going to quit rambling again. If you have not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. If you got any thoughts on this, many of you probably already have the Wera Advent calendars. Many of you are probably like, well, I kind of want to pull the trigger on Stahlwille, but the Hazet doesn't appeal to me. The Felo one, yeah, well, whatever your thoughts are, whatever you want to talk about, feel free to throw them down below. If I keep my voice and I have time being the big thing, I might try to have the 10-inch twin grip video out for Saturday. Again, got them in. I always like for the tools to make a good impression on you, meaning they're clean, right? It's not a review video. It's a tool haul, so they're supposed to be new and shiny and impressive and like, ooh, yeah, I'm going to get that too. But like I said, they were there and they were closer than the shop and the fence was about to fall, so they got put into use. And I do not apologize. I just appreciate what I had handy in the mailbox. So with that said, again, LoneStarMopars.com is the website. You can find us Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all three at Lone Star Mopars. If you subscribe, you ring the bell, you jump your charger across the creek, you land down and you start distributing a trunkload of Wera Advent calendars, YouTube just might notify you. We got new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, 9 a.m. Texas time. With that said, thanks so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a fantastic holiday season, like Halloween, Thanksgiving, election, you'll have results in 6 months, Christmas, New Year's, all that stuff. But it is what it is, man. And I will end on this. In the past, I've like tried to do the advent calendars closer to Christmas, just because it seems cooler, and I put like Christmas music with it and everything, but like nobody cares by that point in time. So I may or may not have some of those here. Let me know in the comments when you'd like to see them, like the day after Halloween. Do you need that before you get into Christmas mode? Or you're like, man, show me that now, I need to make a purchase decision. Let me know down below. I will do my best to make it happen. I've been insanely busy at work, and then again, when you lose your voice, well, that kind of impacts things here. So with that said, once more, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope this helps you out. And I hope I catch you back here Saturday for more action from the shop that time. And until then, I'll catch you later.